Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to tell you how to break a chocolate addiction. If you want to control what you eat, control your body, and control your life, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video. During my years as a binge eater, I used to eat a lot of chocolate. Even though I didn't have a specific craving for chocolate, it was always part of the menu. And I think the reason why is because it's just everywhere. There's so much chocolate out there. There is candy bars and cookies, chocolate milk, protein powder, energy bars. What else? Chocolate ice cream, chocolate syrup, like the stuff that's on my face. Let's see, we have Nutella here. I think that's the problem, is that we put chocolate into everything. Chocolate didn't used to be really common. I mean, that the cacao bean, you had to process it, you had to find it first of all, and so it was kind of this rare substance. And then over the years, with industrialization and better food processing, we found better ways of extracting the chocolate and delivering it to the masses. It really didn't take off until the early 1900s with the rise of the Hershey's company and the Cadbury company in the United Kingdom, and Nestle in the late 1800s, I think, which is $100 billion company, by the way. It's massive, but they sell a lot more than chocolate. It's one of those things that once we found it, we were instantly hooked. It's like tobacco or like sugar, right? It wasn't always part of our daily menu. Most humans in history, if you think about it, have never had chocolate. They didn't know it existed, or they didn't know how to extract it. The thing about real chocolate that you need to understand is that it's actually not that good. I found some of this. This is 90%, which is really high, which is a really high chocolate content, but it's also not milk chocolate. And I think that's the difference. If you eat this is Lint. It's actually not that sweet. It's the milk chocolate that you find in things like this, Cadbury Dairy Milk, or in Hershey's bars, or in candy bars, or in the chocolate milk here, like Nesquik. That's the stuff that's really tasty, right? Because they take the regular chocolate and then they mix it with milk. You get milk chocolate. Well, I mean, they mix it with sugar, so then you have that fat sugar combination that's just so delicious. But real chocolate is actually really bitter. It's just really fat. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean it doesn't have any compounds that makes it really addictive. It actually has various chemicals in it that mimic the effect that we get in tobacco, alcohol, caffeine, and that's why people like it. But then you take that and you add some sugar, then you've got a really addictive substance. I've heard of people over the years that have had a true chocolate addiction. They've actually had journal studies on this. People who have developed AFib, which is like a heart disorder, because they ate too much chocolate. That's crazy. That's an extreme. Most people don't get to that point. But when most people crave something, they're thinking about something that has a lot of chocolate. Why? Because it's fat and it's sugar and it tastes good, right? And with modern processing, it's really easy to find this kind of stuff wherever you go. They use chocolate to make healthy foods a little more appealing. I'll give you an example. I found these. These are some protein cake bites by On Nutrition. So deliciously whipped protein snacks. So now they've taken chocolate and they've added protein to it. So now you get salt, sugar, fat, and protein all in one. I guess the protein is supposed to make it a little healthier than something like the Cadbury bar. There's not a lot of protein in this. It's like 3 grams, but that's for half the bar. So the whole thing has 6 grams of protein. In other words, it's just a lot of fat and sugar. I think that's what's called the halo effect. You add protein to something, you make it a little healthier, but really it's just a snack bar with better macros. I'll give you another example over here. Here's the Robert Irvine Fit Crunch chocolate chip cookie dough. There were so many chocolate products I wanted to buy. There was ice cream, there were chips. And then here's a chocolate chip cookie that kind of melted a little bit. Oh my God, chocolate chip cookies were one of my worst binge foods when I was a binge eater. I would just buy a whole packet of them. Walmart makes really good chocolate chip cookies, but it was maybe Chips Ahoy or maybe another brand, and I like the chewy kind. It was that texture. Remember, texture is really important in foods. They spend millions of dollars every year trying to find that perfect texture that makes your brain light up. So they can't just add chocolate. It's got to have that right texture. One of the worst foods to eat at night after a long day is chocolate ice cream. There's some Haagen-Dazs for you, chocolate chocolate chip. Ben and Jerry's, I found 20 flavors of Ben and Jerry's that have some sort of chocolate in it. It was like chocolate peanut butter, chocolate fudge, chocolate this, German chocolate. I couldn't even keep track anymore. I lost track of all the different flavors of Ben and Jerry's they have available. I thought I'd eaten them all. Apparently not. They keep adding more. That's the thing about chocolate. It's so versatile. You can add it with anything, and you can make so many different varieties. And variety is really important when it comes to manufacturing really delicious food. You've got to keep coming out with new varieties all the time. You can't just have one type. That's why they're mixing it with almonds, and they have white chocolate, or they mix it with peanut butter. That's another deadly combination. You take something with peanut butter, which is super high in fat, and then you mix it with chocolates. Like, holy smokes, watch out. Stuff like this Nutella. This isn't really chocolate. I looked on the back. It's sugar, palm oil, hazelnut, skim milk, cocoa. So you have to get to the fifth flavor to actually get to the actual chocolate. I was never big on Nutella. This is made in Mexico, which is funny because it's the first time I ever tried Nutella. It's not really a nut butter. It says bananas and toast love Nutella. Yeah, no kidding. But this is really just a sugar and oil combination. I'm sure the kids love it. But it just goes to show how many things you can put chocolate in. You can do chocolate this, chocolate that. Speaking of chocolate milk, this is actually a really good drink to have after a hard workout. And I'll tell you why, because it's got protein, it's got a little bit of fat and a lot of carbs. So the carbohydrates help replenish you. I know a lot of nutritionists are going to kill me on that. Like, oh my God, how dare you say chocolate is good, chocolate milk is good for you. But you know what? It's actually not that bad. It's like a natural protein shake. Speaking of protein shakes, you can also get chocolate protein powder, no surprise. Mix that with your chocolate milk or your chocolate soy milk or your chocolate almond milk. I think chocolate is just the ultimate binge food. Not only does it have compounds that makes it very addictive and stimulating and rewarding, but then you can also mix it with some sugar and make it highly addictive. I don't know any binge eater who doesn't eat chocolate once in a while. I never just binged on pure chocolate, but I always got chocolate flavors. So when I binge, I had something like energy bars, but I always get the chocolate flavored one or the white chocolate. My favorite like Cliff Bar was that white chocolate Cliff Bar. Or when I binged on protein bars, I would always get some sort of chocolate flavor. I didn't specifically want the chocolate. You know, for example, I would never binge on this. This is too boring, but I would always get chocolate flavored candy, you know, Snickers and M&Ms and Almond Joys, and what are the other ones? I remember when they came out with hazelnut Snickers, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. Now, having said all that, and with chocolate syrup all over my face, you can definitely include chocolate in your diet. I've read some research that shows that dark chocolate, you know, just maybe a couple squares of this each day is actually really good for you. So it's not like it's just pure junk. It's not like that at all. If you do have chocolate addiction or you feel like you can't control yourself around chocolate, don't ever tell yourself that you'll never eat it again. That's the worst thing you can do, because then you've made it a forbidden food. And whenever you put something on the forbidden list, you just crave it even more. I think the best thing to do is to maybe abstain from it for a little bit, you know, maybe a couple weeks, give yourself that period of time when you're not eating it, and then allow yourself little bits of chocolate over time. I don't think you have to completely abstain from it forever. It's not like a drug. This isn't heroin we're talking about. To reintroduce it into your diet, you can start with the dark chocolate stuff, or you can just have, or maybe just have it on really special occasions, or just get the best stuff, the best chocolate you can find. I think the worst thing you can do is just get chocolate substitutes and stuff that pretends to be chocolate. I hate fake food. I hate foods that kind of give you what you want, but they don't give you exactly what you want. That's why I hate low-calorie ice cream and low-calorie this and low-fat this and reduced-fat this. You're not getting what you really want, and you still crave what you want. If you're going to have ice cream, at least get the real stuff. Okay? Haagen-Dazs. Okay, that's real. Ooh. Look at the ingredients on that. Ooh. Can you see that? Is my camera working there? It's just basic stuff. It's cream, skim milk, cane sugar, cocoa processed with egg yolks, and chocolate chips. I mean, it's pretty simple ingredients. It's made by Nestle too. It's super high in calories, but you know what? Even though it is super high in fat and sugar, it's you're giving yourself what you really want. I think that's what's important. If you're gonna eat chocolate, eat high quality chocolate. Eat the kind of chocolate that is gonna satisfy you. Stop at that bakery. Stop at that bread store. Stop at that place that makes all of those fine chocolates. There's a bakery not too far from me, and they make some of the best chocolate ever. And it's totally worth it because after one or two bites, I'm totally satisfied. The stuff about the processed chocolate, it's designed to make you keep eating more. Just keep that in mind. So if you eat Reese's peanut butter cups, which I absolutely love, it's not designed to satiate you, and you're not designed to just eat one or two. Your brain experiences a high level of reward, so you get a lot of this endorphin rush when you eat it, and it's like, oh my god, this is really good. If I put your brain under a scanner, you would see all of these endorphins being released in your brain because you're experiencing that reward. Remember, like I said, this stuff wasn't available back in the day. It was hard to get chocolate. Most humans didn't even know chocolate existed, and then we found it, and then we found that you could combine it with sugar and make something that was truly delicious. Here's a little trivia for you. They actually gave all of the soldiers and Marines in World War II bars of chocolate. And on the life rafts, like those life preservers, they would always include chocolate because it preserved well, it was high in calories, and they knew somebody would eat it, right? It doesn't take a high level of hunger to eat chocolate. That's another point I want to make is a lot of times we eat chocolate and we don't even know why. And I think this is important. We don't eat chocolate out of hunger. When we're really hungry, we'll just eat anything. We want something that's wholesome, and we want something that satisfies us. When you want chocolate, what you want is an experience. You want to experience that rush of endorphins. You want to feel good. You want to feel better about yourself. If you are eating a lot of chocolate, just ask yourself why. Before you eat it, even if you do eat it, just ask yourself, why am I eating this? What does chocolate do for me? How is it making me feel better? What am I searching for? How do I want to feel? Why am I reaching out for chocolate? Just do that before you eat the chocolate. And when you do that, you're probably going to eat less because you're more aware of what you're doing. Remember, this whole channel is about self-awareness. Be aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then when you're eating it, just ask yourself, okay, what am I feeling? What is this doing for me? What emotions do I have now? Am I eating this chocolate to escape something? Am I doing it for reward? Do I feel like I deserve it? And then after you finish eating it, ask yourself, how do I feel now? Do I feel guilty? Do I feel satisfied? Do I want more? Was that worth it? Was that the best kind of chocolate I could possibly eat? Did I really need that chocolate? I'm a big fan of self-analysis, like reviewing how you felt, what happened, why did it happen, and what can you do better in the future. That's what you call after action review. So look at all this chocolate. There's dark chocolate, which is not that sweet. I never binged on dark chocolate. It's just not rewarding enough. Then there's your good old chocolate chip cookie. Oh boy. My mom makes really good chocolate chip cookies. I always look forward to Christmas because it's so good. And she makes really good fudge too. So thanks, Mom. Then there's Cadbury. I don't know why I bought Cadbury. I don't live in the UK. I should have bought a Hershey's bar. That's quintessentially American. But now, actually, they're making a lot of that chocolate down in Mexico, so it's not really American. Confession. One of my favorite movies growing up was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I always imagined going into this factory and just eating everything because it was all chocolate. Of course, back then, I didn't know anything about sugar and calories, but those were the good old days. Then you have protein bars, protein cake bites. If you eat chocolate, you might as well get your protein with it, right? And then this is another one, Robert Irvine Fit Crunch chocolate chip. He also has another he has a chocolate peanut butter one, which is really good too. Then of course you've got chocolate milk. Woo! Then you've got your chocolate ice cream, of course. I think there are at least 10 flavors of Haagen-Dazs. It's some variation of chocolate. Same with Ben and Jerry's. Everything they have is chocolate. And then there's good old Nutella. Other manufacturers of peanut butter have their own chocolate flavors too. I've also seen chocolate cereal, which is kind of weird. I don't know if I want chocolate in my cereal. They make chocolate cinnamon toast crunch. Haven't tried it yet. Maybe I'll make another video about that. My point is they're putting chocolate in just about everything. It's like cheese. They put cheese on everything. Why? Because it's rewarding, makes it taste better. And when it tastes better, we come back for more. So let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite chocolate item? And if you're struggling to control how much chocolate you eat, I have some good news for you. I have some free training on my website, saneaters.com, and I'll show you what you can do about overeating and binge eating. And if you want to speak with me personally, I would love to do that. There is a link in the description box below. Don't forget to check out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.